Hi everyone, let's go ahead and get started. We are going to be doing a 35 to 45 minute flow tonight, so go ahead and just grab any props that you might need. I'm just going to be using my yoga mat and my body for tonight's class, so feel free to alter anything that I do to make it fit your needs. And let's go ahead and get started. We're just going to find a nice comfortable seat on our mat to start. Go ahead and find whatever seat feels comfortable for you. So if that's with your legs crossed and your hips down into the mat, or maybe you want to sit on your knees, whatever's nice and comfortable for you. Go ahead and put your hands wherever they might land, feeling grounded towards your body by placing your palms. Feel free to close your eyes. We'll just start with a few deep breaths. Good, so first you'll just notice the breath. Don't try to change it just yet. Maybe notice how it feels coming in through your nose and then out through your mouth. Noticing the rib cage expand. Good, maybe you notice your shoulders raising and then coming back down. We'll start to deepen the breath here. Inhale, bring your shoulders up towards your ears. Exhale, send your shoulder blades down your back. Really open up the front of your chest. Good, do a few more of those, almost making a circular motion. Inhale as you rise up. Exhale brings the shoulder blades back down. One more deep breath. Good, and then start to lean onto your sacrum. Bring one leg out in front of you. So you're kind of sitting in this nice little V-sit. And we're just going to slowly rotate from side to side. Good, maybe you notice that as you come towards your bent knee, you feel a little bit of an inside of the thigh stretch, an adductor stretch. Good, and next time you come over to your extended leg, stop there. Reach your arms up nice and tall, feel strong, or feel nice and tall in your spine. And then you're going to hinge at the hips. So keep that spine nice and long. Hinge at the hips as you fold over. Once you feel like you've gotten to a place that you can't fold anymore, let your head just hang heavy. Good, take one more deep breath here. Inhale, send your arms back up overhead. Bring your left hand behind your hips. And you're going to push through that hand and lift your hips up towards the sky. Getting into the front of that right hip. Good, maybe making some circles with your arm. Good, and then bring the circles the other way. So whichever way you went, go the opposite. Good, and then exhale, bring those hips back down. Reach that right leg over to cross in front of that left leg. So you're kind of in a pretzel twist here. Bring that right hand back behind you, left arm reaches up. And then you can twist into this kind of seated position. So you can hook that left elbow outside that right knee. And then just let your gaze follow. Maybe you look behind you, but stay nice and tall through the spine. So if you feel like you're crunching, just come a little bit further back out of the twist, and then just stay nice and tall. Good, one deep inhale here through the nose. Exhale, untwist your body, and then just switch out the legs. So your left leg's gonna go long now. Right foot is towards the inseam of that left leg, and just find a few twists here. Good. Next time you come over to your extended leg, stop there, reach your arms up long. Nice long spine before you hinge at the hips, holding over that extended leg. We're going to take 3 deep breaths here. So just find some silence and peace. Maybe you want to set an intention here in this time. One more deep inhale. And exhale. Inhale, bring your arm back up overhead. Reach that right hand behind you. We're going up with the hips on the other side. Good. And then we'll find some nice shoulder circles. Good. And circle the other way. Just a few more in this opposite direction. And exhale those hips down. Good. Bring that bent knee straight in front of you and then cross that left leg over. Left hand comes back behind you and reach that right arm high for your nice seated twist, looking over to the left. Let's see if each inhale can bring you a little further into this twist. And exhale, untwist your body. Bring both knees underneath you, so however you want to get to your tabletop position. And from here, we're just going to find a few child's pose, kind of rocking back and forth. So we're not going to settle in just yet. We're just going to wake up the hips, wake up the knees. And next time you bring your heels towards your hips, maybe you spread your knees out a little bit wider. We're going to find our first child's pose. Reach those arms nice and long out in front of you. Let your forehead rest on the mat. And just take a few moments to just breathe without any distractions. One more deep breath here in this child's pose, and then we're going to start to warm up with our sun salutations. If you've taken a class with me before, you know that we do sun salutations at the start of every class, just a nice warm up, getting at both the front and the back of the body. So when you're ready, bring those shoulders over your wrists, come back up to your tabletop position. We're going to find our first downward facing dog. So tuck your toes underneath you, and then lift your knees off the mat, send your hips up towards the ceiling. Take some time here to just pedal it out, maybe bend into one knee and then the other. Maybe you want to get a nice calf stretch. Hold that heel down towards the ground. Maybe just try it on one side and then the other. Kind of just get a sense of, how each limb is feeling this evening, morning, whatever time you're taking this class. Good, and then we'll firm up our foundation. So in order to do this, make sure your toes are about hips width distance. And a lot of times we'll think that we have to straighten those legs out. By all means, you can bend your knees. What I want you to focus on more is tilting that tailbone up towards the ceiling to extend your spine nice and long. Your head will hang between your arms and then press through each knuckle away from the mat. Good. When you're ready, inhale brings you over to your high plank pose. Sink those hips down so they're in line with your spine. If you want to do this in front of a mirror, feel free. And then drop those knees, untuck your toes, finding our first chaturanga. Elbows stay in at your sides as you exhale, lower. Inhale, your chest comes forward. Exhale, you send your hips back up to your downward facing dog. Good, running through one other option. Inhale, bring your shoulders over your wrists. Good, keep your knees Lift it this time if this is your option. And then exhale, you'll slowly lower down to a half plank. Good, exhale, bring the tops of your feet to the mat. Keep those hips lifted off of the mat, and then exhale to downward facing dog. Good, inhale, your right toes go high, finding our first sequence. Exhale, step your foot between your legs, drop the back knee, hook your thumbs and rise. Good, exhale, plant those hands, step your left toes forward. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, reach their arms overhead. Nice long body stretch. Exhale, hands through to heart center. Good, reach it up long, take up space. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, your crown of the head reaches forward. Exhale, plant your hands, step your toes back, and move through whichever chaturanga you would like. So exhale lowers you down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, hips high. Left toes go long this time, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it through. Drop the back knee, hook your thumbs. Like a wave, you'll rise up. Good, bring your hands to your hips. Let's check in with our pelvis here. So you're going to kind of push through that front leg until your knee is over your ankle. From here, see if you can tilt your tailbone underneath. That should wake up that quad stretch for you a little bit more. Good, inhale, arms come overhead. Exhale, plant the hands, step your right toes forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands through to heart center. Good, reach your fingertips long overhead. And then like a swan, you'll dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands and move through your chaturanga. Inhale, right toes go high. Exhale, step it through. Drop your back knee. Inhale, arms come overhead. This time, bring both hands back behind you. Interlace your fingers for a nice chest opener stretch. You're reaching that clasped hand down towards the ground. Good, inhale, arms come overhead. Exhale, plant the hands, step your left toes forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, left hand comes forward, right hand comes back. We're opening up to the right. Good, inhale, both arms overhead. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, moving through your chaturanga. We just have one more side. Inhale, left toes high. Exhale, step it through. Drop your back knee, hook your thumbs and rise. Good, this time opening your arms like a goalpost. Bring those shoulder blades together and open wide. Good, inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, plant the hands and step forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. Arms come overhead. Good, and then we're opening up to the left this side, so right fingertips forward, left fingertips back. Good, inhale, both arms overhead. Exhale, plant the hands, and step your toes back, moving through your flow. Good, once you're back in your downward facing dog, take some time here to pedal it out, take a few breaths. We're going to be moving on to our sequence tonight. Inhale. When you're ready, exhale, firm up your foundation. Good, inhale, reaches your right toes high. Exhale, knee to nose, shoulders over wrists, hold it here. Good, inhale, right toes high. Exhale, right knee to right elbow, hold it here. Inhale, right toes high. Exhale, step your right foot between your toes. Keep that back leg lifted, arms come overhead. Good, exhale, left hand forward, right hand back. We're finding that twist in our low lunge. Exhale, both arms overhead. Good, take a nice deep inhale at the top. Exhale, airplane your arms back. Inhale, arms come overhead. Exhale, hands come back. Good, inhale one more time, arms overhead. Exhale, start to prepare. Put a lot of your weight into your front leg, and then lift your left toes off the mat. We're coming into our first airplane pose. Nice job. You're keeping a nice long line from the forehead all the way back to your heel. Your hands can stay back here. If you want to try bringing them to your chest or reaching them out in front, we're just going to be working on a little bit of balance today. Exhale, curtsy squat. Bring that left knee back behind your right ankle. Inhale, come back to your airplane. Exhale, tap those left toes down and open up for warrior two. Good, deep bend into that front leg. Nice straight back leg. Your foot is at an angle parallel with the back of your mat. Good, reach your arms out long. Good, inhale, reverses your warrior. Exhale, bring your right forearm to right knee. Reach those left fingers nice and long for your side angle pose. Good, exhale, bring that top hand back behind your hips. And if you feel like you want to try a nice little bind here, reach that right arm underneath that leg. You'll want to find a nice deep lunge into that front knee. If you want to play around with reaching for your fingertips, feel free to do so in this position. Or just kind of reach, they don't need to touch. Good, inhale, that left hand comes back high. Reach yourself back up to your warrior two, straighten out that front leg. Look over to the left side of your mat, and then slowly sink yourself down to a wide-legged forward fold. Good, you have a few moments to play around here. Maybe grabbing hold of one ankle and then the other. Maybe bending into one knee and then the other. Good, coming back to center. You'll walk your hands over to your right leg. Bend into that front knee, both toes face forward. Step your right toes back to your high plank pose and move through your flow. Meet me back in downward facing dog. Good. Take a nice deep inhale here. Exhale, let it out. Inhale, your left toes go high. Exhale, knee to nose, shoulders over wrist, high plank. Inhale, left toes high. Exhale, left knee to left elbow, hold it here. Good, inhale, left toes high. Exhale, step your foot between your hands. Good, inhale, brings you up into your crescent lunge. Both toes are facing forward here at this point. Arms are nice and high. Notice that my back leg is staying nice and straight. Good, exhale, right fingertips forward, left fingertips back, twisting over to the left. Good, inhale, come back to center, arms overhead. Exhale, airplane those arms back. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, airplane those arms. You have one more to prepare. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, hands come back behind you. Play around with putting your weight into that front leg, and then lift those right toes off. An important thing to remember is when you're doing balance stuff, if you come out of it, just come right back into it. Good, wherever you are, maybe play around with some hands, different hand placements. Good, exhale, curtsy squat. Bring that right knee behind your left ankle. Exhale, come back to your airplane pose. Good, exhale, right toes tap down. Open up for warrior two. Good, deep bend into that front leg. See if you can keep your shoulders over your hips. So nice long spine. Inhale, reverses your warrior. Left fingertips go high. Exhale, bring that forearm down to your knee. Reach your right fingertips forward. Side angle pose. Option on this side to take a bound side angle pose again. So bring that right or top hand back towards your left hip. And then what you want to do is really get a nice deep bend into that front leg so that you can reach your left arm underneath. Maybe making a connection, maybe just reaching for each other. Both are very beneficial. Good, inhale, reach that right arm high. Exhale brings you back up to warrior two. Straighten both legs, bring your toes to the side, and find your forward fold. Good, wherever you are in your space, let's start to bring your body back towards the top of your mat. So just walk your hands on over. If you're in a wide-legged stance, just step towards the top of your mat. Good, separate your feet about hip-width distance. Let's find more of a forward fold that focuses on the spine and rather the hips and the glutes. So bring your feet about hip-width distance. And just forward fold, sink down towards the ground. Imagine your head is just a weight being pulled down to the ground. Good, let go of your neck muscles. Option to bring opposite hand to opposite elbow. Maybe find a ragdoll sway back and forth. Good, let's come back to center. Bring your toes to touch. Inhale, slowly roll your spine up towards a standing position. Good, so we're gonna play around with another single leg balance as kind of our peak pose tonight. So what we're gonna be doing is we are going to be finding one-legged Tadasana, extending out, and then we'll find a twist. But I will be running through you all of the steps to get to where we want to be. So wherever you are on your mat, let's start to just kind of feel the ground underneath you. Just this way. What I want you to focus on first is placing all of your weight into your left foot. So maybe that means picking up each toe and setting it back down on the mat. Once you feel like you have that kind of sensation through your leg, check in with your knee. Is it locked out? See if you can kind of bend it a little bit to engage those knee muscles. When you're ready, both arms come to your heart center. Bring up your knee with it. And then you're slowly going to just kick it straight out in front of you. Maybe this is where you stop. Don't worry if yours is a little bit further down. Keep it wherever you can. Maybe you're feeling that quad turn on. Nice job. If you feel like your knee's bent, see if you can straighten it a little more. That'll engage your quad even more. Good, arms can come overhead if you want to add in the twist. We're twisting that left arm forward. So opposite arm, opposite leg are forward. Right hand comes back. Good, see if you can hold it here for a few breaths. Good, inhale, come back up to center, bend that front knee. Exhale, bring that foot back down. We'll take that on the other side. So I always like to bring hands to heart center. It just kind of helps me center my body. You do whatever makes sense to you. Go ahead and pour all your weight into the right leg. Good. When you're ready, we're going to be lifting that left knee up. Hold it here, get your balance, check in with that right ankle. Listen to what your body is telling you about your balance. And then kick that left leg out. Good, keep that quad engaged. Lift, lift, lift. Good, arms can come overhead and then find your twist. So you're twisting open to your extended leg. Good, inhale both arms overhead. Bend your knee and slowly place it down. Good, exhale, hands come through to heart center. Reach up and over, find a nice long body stretch. And then exhale, forward fold. Slowly walk your hands out in front of you or your feet behind you, wherever you are on your mat. Then bring yourself to a high plank pose and slowly lower yourself all the way down. Good, once you get there, we're gonna find a reverse wheel pose, I guess is kind of what it's called. So bend your knees and bring your heels up towards your hips. What you're going to do next is you're going to kind of reach around and see if you can grab hold of your feet. And this should already feel like a pretty good quad stretch. We just worked the quad, so it should feel almost like a same sensation, but more of a stretch. Good, and then if you want to make this more of an active pose, what you're going to do is you're going to kick into your hands and raise your chest up off of the mat. You're kind of balancing on your hip bones. And then bring your knees a little bit closer together. Zip those knees up. Good, take one more deep breath here. And then exhale, lowers yourself down to the mat. Bring one ear to the mat. Just find a nice rest here. Good. This is a perfect position to be in, especially for people who are at desks all day or working on their computer. We spend a lot of time with our spine flexed forward, and this just kind of resets it, keeps it in a nice extended position, almost a neutral spine, just to kind of give your body a little bit of relief. Good. If you want to switch to the other ear, feel free to do so. Good, and then come back to center. Bring your elbows underneath you. Find a nice extension through the spine. And don't make this something that you have to force. If this is something where you can only come up just a little bit, feel free to do that. Just take this to your degree. Again, if you do get a lot of back pain, especially in sitting, this probably feels pretty good to you. Good, wherever you are, bring yourself back up into your child's pose. We're going to end tonight in a child's pose, but I invite you to find a shavasana or a corpse pose if that's kind of what's calling your name at the end of this class. I have normally been doing a meditation, but tonight I think it'll just be good to relax, have some silence for yourself, and I think next time we'll focus a little bit more on meditation. So be on the lookout for that class. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you again soon in a class.